couldn't imagine being in a band with someone I despise or anything like to that.
Oh, it's crazy.
Like,
well, Kings of Leon. Apparently, there's like 3 brothers and a cousin.
Yeah,
and apparently, like 2 of the brothers just fight all the time. They're like grown men in their late 40s, and they'll just brawl and like have each other in headlocks, but like seriously be pissed at each other and just throwing punches at each other backstage.
Damn.
It sounds hilarious.
Is it vicious or is it?
I think it is.
Like...
No, I think it's like, oh, fuck you. Like they get into it.
Oh man,
sounds great. It'd be a great doc.
Yeah, it would be a nice doc.
Something so funny about just grown men like making millions of dollars and just punching your own brother in the face and putting him in a headlock.
What a mindset. I've always wanted to see that band live. I love their sound a lot. I haven't dug too deep into Kings of Leon, but I really like their popular.
It's crazy, man. They've been one of like the immortal rock bands on earth, you know. There's probably only 5 of them if you think about it.
Immortal meaning
I don't know. I mean, just like the Green Days or the Foo Fighters, like just decades long successful arena rock bands. There's only like there's kind of like infinite space in the music industry for like smaller, medium stuff, but as far as arena rock, there's only like 5. You know, 5, 6, 7.
It's crazy. Yeah. Would you ever? Have you ever played an arena before?
No, never.
Would you want to?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, I think if you've been to shows in arenas, it's like the opening bands at arena shows get pretty much no love. They get like no sound
Everyone's
treatment.
filing in.
They're filing in. It doesn't sound good. The sound's all washed out. But, you know, what a cool thrill.
Yeah, right?
You know?
Probably hanging out in the back and... there's something to being the opening band and playing with a really cool headliner and then just playing your set and then just hanging out and then
well, that's the dream.
You know,
that's the best job in the world. That's why every band wants to play opening tours. You know.
Yeah.
Or maybe that's just me. I don't know.
I would love to play an opening tour. That's kind of on the next for my docket. I think for 2024.
Who do you want to open for?
Who would I want to open for? I would love to open for. There's this. I mean, like Michigander, Bristol Maroney, Goth Babe would be really cool. Yeah, I think like Archer O. There's some like bands that I would love to be like the opener and kind of tag along on a leg.
Yeah,
really
I got to get a playlist from you as to what you're kind of listening to, because you've been exposed to a whole new swath of indie rock that I'm not as familiar with. I've heard of some of those bands, but I haven't dove
I
into
feel
their
like sometimes
catalog.
I'm not super in tune with the like what's popular in the indie rock realm these days as much as I should be. I feel like I've heard that like as a independent musician, it's good to kind of know like who
it's good to know.
Is
you could make the argument that no one's popular in the indie rock world. You know? There's like 4 million bands, and you know, I guess it seems like there's kind of space for like 1 or 2 or 3 bands every year to really break through, like the Michiganders or whatever, and they'll have like a big moment or a big year or 2.
Yeah,
and then they'll kind of take a break, and then maybe they'll come back, but. Even bands that kind of explode and do well, it's like almost always seem to disappear, you know, just with how fickle everything is.
Yeah, what do you think it is? Do you think it's a lot of just the dynamics of just humans and interacting with like the business side of it all? Or?
Well, the two big things that come to mind are like it's like an unsustainable lifestyle for the bands, you know, because it's like the way you make most of your money is playing shows, which is the dream for several years. And then you probably get on year 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 or 10, and you're like, holy shit, I'm tired.
Sure.
Like I can't keep doing this if I want to like stay okay mentally. And then the other half is just the fickleness of the whole business, you know? And I mean, people's attention spans, it's like you're hot one year, you're cold the next year, you have a record that's well received, you get on a bunch of festivals, then 2 years later you're not the new thing anymore.
Right.
Different people are getting the sweet festival slots, that whole thing.
Yeah.
So it all goes in cycles, but it kind of seems still like traditionally it's like when you get that, the industry only gives you like one chance, you know, if ever. Most people never get a shot.
Right.
I think when that happens, you just got to take all the shows and all the tours you can, because that window, from what I've seen, is usually like a couple years, and that's when you like build most of your fan base.
Right. I think I remember you said this on my podcast
shit.
last time. No, it's in a different wording.
Okay.
But you know, it's that's definitely stuck with me as far as like, yeah, you mentioned in that window, you want to kind of get as many loyal, lifelong fans as possible.
Yeah. But for most bands, it's just winning one fan at a time. You know. For us, for you and me at this point in time, you just kind of, you know, you meet people in person, and I think seeing a band live is kind of the way I become a lifer fan. I don't know. Do you feel that way?
Yeah, definitely. Do you prefer seeing a band that you've never heard of before and then seeing their set, really enjoying them, and then going to listen to their music, or do you prefer, or is it a better experience in your opinion to listen to a new band, kind of hear it and then see them live?
Yeah, it doesn't really matter to me either way. I mean, if I stumble upon a band live that I just love, that's a great feeling, because I think it's just hard to fall in love with a lot of bands, you know. I don't know how it is for you, but I maybe fall in love with like one band a year where I'm like, oh, this band is the shit. I'm just gonna, you know, I'm gonna check out everything they do moving forward. But that doesn't happen like wildly often.
Yeah. Well, I think for me, like, I have some friends that will send me some music, or specifically my cousin will show me some music and maybe like a live show video of a band, and he's pretty in tune with like the indie, like what's kind of popping right now.
Yeah.
I think there's a band called Snooper, maybe.
That's a cool band.
Yeah. And I saw a clip of their live show, and it just looked awesome, and their aesthetic was really sweet. And I kind of like in that moment, I was like, wow, these guys are awesome. But now thinking about it and talking out loud, I haven't really listened to their music yet. That was kind of like a very quick,
right?
But that stands out in my head.
It's so crazy how you have to be I feel like you have to be so obsessed with the band to go see them live, you know, especially year after year. You just have to, like, you know, it is, you and I have got like hundreds or thousands of songs we love on Spotify.
Yeah.
And they're all saved in the saved folder and the like folder. But like, how many of those bands would we actually go out in public and see, even if it's like a 10-minute drive down the street?
Right.
You know?
Right.
5% of those bands, maybe.
Yeah,
know?
totally.
So,
and I think, yeah, it really is like the, I mean, I'm sure you know, just the experience of the night and the atmosphere of the live show. I think that there's a lot of people that come to shows for different reasons, whether it's for the music or maybe it's because of the crowd is going to be really fun, or whatever it is. But
totally, or to, you know, chase girls or dudes,
right,
you know, meet people, you know,
network. Yeah,
a lot of people would believe that like the majority of the crowd is often there, I think, for the scene, you know, because it's like an exciting scene, and those freaky diehard fans that like listen to most of the songs are that seems to be like a smaller portion of the pie.
Yeah,
I'm just theorizing,
right?
You know?
You can never really know for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Because, yeah, I guess there's a percentage of the crowd that is, it's like, how do you get somebody to follow you on Instagram after a show, or maybe even buy merch or sign up for the email list? I think there's, like, even after kind of plugging it on stage, there's only a handful that'll do it. Like, not everybody will do it, which actually one time, or I don't know how I feel about this, but maybe I'll incorporate it, but also seems a little forceful. But I did a So Far Sounds show in Milwaukee 2 months ago, and there's this artist from Minneapolis, Midway, a solo acoustic dude, and midway through his set, he's like, all right, I'm going to play a game with you guys. You like playing games? And everyone's like, yeah. And so he's like, everyone go to Instagram right now. And then everyone did on their phones.
Yeah.
And then he's like, okay, on the count of three. He's like, everyone type in my Instagram name. So everyone goes to his page, but he's like, don't follow me. And then he's like, on the count of three, everyone's going to hit follow. And then the 10th person to follow me is going to win a t-shirt.
Holy shit. That's bold.
Yeah, right.
I mean, I respect the hustle, but that is
it feels
that
a little
takes some sack.
kind of intrusive in a way of like, okay.
It's brutal, but like, I don't know. Also, if he did it and if it was funny, I respect going for it, but yeah, even me who has no shame, I don't even think I could do that.
Yeah, he did kind of do it in his own way, though. I felt like it was pretty natural. It didn't seem like it was
We're in that era though, where that's the kind of shit you got to do.
Yeah, it's like, oh shit. Well, now this dude's brutal. Got like 70 new followers from just that one.
Yeah, I know. It's big, and it's like even email-less stuff. It's like, that is a whole monster. Like I'll go through. I was just before you got here. I was going through like my email backend and like learning about retention and open rates and requests. And it's like just because you have whatever 15,000 people on your newsletter doesn't mean it's gonna get delivered to all those 15,000 people. There's like email rules and like you have to build like certain types of credibility, and your domain has to have like a really good trust level, so you never fully reach everyone who like signs up for your shit. Anyway, with that, it's kind of soul crushing.
Do you think? Yeah, because it might just go to spam too.
For sure. Yeah, I'm sure.
That's so sad.
It does.
Yeah, interesting. Which
but you can't. I don't know, man. It's like I can't be caring about this stuff too much because.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
so tell me about your tours. Have you've been? You were just with We Are Scientists.
Yeah. Well, that was one of my favorite tours ever.
Yeah, really.
I mean, I've loved that band since I was a kid.
Crazy.
Since I was 15 or 16.
Did you ever imagine that you would be opening for them on a tour?
Well, as my adult self or as my delinquent
as
teenage
your delinquent
self?
Teenage.
Of course not. Yeah, of course not. Yeah, I mean, but I mean, they've been going a long time, and I've never seen a band that's as good of friends as they are. They're like best friends, and they're just hilarious. Just some of the funniest guys I've ever met, and like the least moody guys I've ever met. They're just like always up, pumped to be doing it, having a goof. If a particular show doesn't sell as many tickets as they would want it to, they're like, whatever, we're on tour, it's great, who cares,
Yeah.
So it's cool. So I'm gonna go actually visit those guys at the end of January.
Where are they based out
They're
of?
based in New York City.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna go do a couple pods out there and visit a few buds.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how long was that last tour then?
So that last tour with We Are Scientists was 2 weeks.
Cool.
Yeah, it was a real luxury because, like we talked about before, opening shows is great.
Yeah.
And it was all like the great American cities down the West Coast and the dirty South. So
cool.
Vancouver, Seattle, San Francisco, Santa Ana, LA, San Diego, Phoenix. And Phoenix is a real weird town. It's fun to go there. Like, I never played Phoenix before. And dude, Phoenix on a Monday, they pulled great. It was cool. Yeah. Driving through the deserts, Southern California too, and then playing a couple shows in Texas, and it was a hell of a time. Great way to end the year for me.
And you were with a full band for that?
No, that was just me.
Just you?
Yeah, and then we played in New York City a couple weeks ago at the Bowery Ballroom. So
gotcha.
Yeah, hopefully we'll do more stuff with them.
So a tour like that, would there be just you would open up the night and then they would play?
Yeah, so I would play like 40 minutes, by myself, and their crowd is like, so much of their set is like improv and banter between songs.
Oh, that's fun.
And it's pretty like geeky and ham-fisted, so like right in my wheelhouse. So their crowd was perfect. I would like goof around, and then I'd play a half of a Jewel song and like segue into like 12 seconds of a Sarah McLachlan song, and then back to one of my own songs or whatever.
They're just eating it
up. Sometimes I would eat shit, but people would love it,
Yeah.
Very forgiving crowd, who's down to clown. So
Yep.
it was great.
So it's probably a somewhat similar set to that Viroqua show you did solo
Viroqua?
set. Viroqua.
Similar setup,
Setup,
technical
yeah.
setup, yeah.
Yep.
Different songs,
Gotcha.
yeah. What do you got plans coming up in the future? What are your ambitions with life and music?
So I just got a dog.
Nice.
That happened in October between me and my girlfriend. So
Jealous.
I know, just being I want to be hitting the road, or plan to be hitting the road a lot more in my foreseeable future.
Yeah, and the
So
lady's
it's
gonna watch the dog, or?
yeah, lady's gonna watch the dog. I
Nice.
also have a lot of friends that have expressed their interest. So
Oh, that's huge.
he's been really good for my routine and just training him. He's a year old,
Whoa.
so he's awesome. He's
Yeah.
really really chill, great with everybody, and he just gets a little bit of separation anxiety when we leave him alone. But
So it gives you a more
working
level head,
on
do you
it.
feel like?
I think so, and definitely with my routine when I was still I'm still trying to figure out like my day-to-day routine with being full-time music. But ever since getting him, I've been able to, get up early in the morning, go on a walk. I've been
Nice.
getting outside. I've been going on some runs with him, taking him to the dog park and stuff. And so I think my routine of my day-to-day is kind of formulated around him,
That's
which has
huge.
been really good.
Yeah.
So that's been great. And definitely like emotionally and mentally, like I just love hanging out with him, and I think he boosts my mood and my
course.
mental health a lot for sure. So
Nice.
he's a little
Get a dog, man.
dude, they're the fucking best. They just
I keep chickening
they
out
just
on
love you. They just love you.
Yeah.
And why would you chicken out? It's for being on
Well,
the road, or
I mean, I swore to the Sky Daddy I was gonna get a dog, this whole year, because I was like so emo so much of the year. But I recently have a girlfriend for the first time.
oh,
in
you
years.
do. Congrats.
So I was like, I'm no less depressed now. I got a girlfriend. Do I need a dog as well? That's all. And then there's all kinds of responsibilities. So I've slowed the dog shopping process.
Gotcha. Well, we were gonna foster a dog just to feel it out, because we're like, we can't really get a dog right now. Like, I don't know if it'll work out. So we just signed up to foster a dog for like 2 weeks, and then of course the first one we get is our dog,
You're just obsessed with
Crab
him?
Cake. Yeah, I was like, I can't.
What kind of doggy is he?
He's a mutt, so he's full grown at like 33 pounds. His body looks kind of funny because he's got like shorter front legs, but like kind of a pit bull back body, and he's got like
He's
some
like a
beagle,
wheelbarrow.
yeah, kind of a little bit, yeah. He's got like the head of a lab, so his head is a little bit bigger. So yeah,
Nice.
he's a cutie,
A
man.
mutant punk rock dog.
Oh yeah,
Love
it. Yeah, and he likes the car too. So so what else is in my wheelhouse is this next June. Gonna try to do going to book a West Coast tour. So starting in La Crosse, Minneapolis, and then shooting over to Seattle, and then driving down the coast, Portland, and through California, and then San Diego, and then kind of shooting back through Arizona, and then
Nice.
Denver, and then coming through Kansas City and
Serious adventure.
home. So yeah, and like I said, that's going to be a leg of solo sets.
What do you use to book it? What's your methodology?
So right now it's kind of like all on Instagram. Okay. So I'll go to, say if we're playing in Seattle, I have a spreadsheet of each state that I keep, and also just kind of has like, if I have some friends that move there, I'll put their name in the spreadsheet. But then also like if I hear of a band, I'll put them in that. And also venues too. But usually what I do is, if I don't know any bands initially off the top of my head, I'll go to Instagram and maybe ask around. But
how do you find bands through Instagram based on their location?
Usually, I'll do like hashtag Seattle music scene. Try to find like a flyer, and then kind of flyer hop, like flyer to flyer. Kind of looking at different bands, just kind of judging off their Instagram appearance.
Yeah.
And then if they looked up and they seemed like a good band to have on the bill, I'll shoot them a DM and be like, hey, coming through Seattle this date, would you be interested in hopping on a bill with me? Just looking at these venues. And then cool. I also have it's $11.99 a month. It's called Indie on the Move.
Oh, that's been around forever.
Oh, sure.
That used to be free. I remember I was using that 10 years ago.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Sweet. So yeah, I've been basically put in Seattle there, and it gives me a list of venues, and
Nice.
it's
and is it pretty? Is the website pretty like clean and tidy? And
pretty clean and tidy.
You can tell
and
if a club's a shithole or not, kind of.
Yeah.
Nice.
But I mean, I'll go through and try to find ones in like the 100 to 200 cap range, and then basically get there. The website's nice because it gives you the talent buyer's email.
Yeah,
because I know it can be pretty tough to navigate through just on the website.
That's a whole added step that takes so much time, you know.
Yeah, so that's really nice. And once I have 2 or 3 local bands, I'll approach the venue.
Well, you're doing great, man.
Thank you, man.
You got a great brain for that, you know.
Thank you. It's a lot of spreadsheets and emails, as you know.
That's where everyone else quits, and I don't blame them.
Yeah,
it kind of sucks, but there's fun in that.
I think I've asked this before, but you mentioned you have a booking agent for Europe. Have you ever used a booking agent for the U.S.?
Yeah, I have. I've had a few. Like this was a couple years ago. A few, smaller indie folks do it, but no one's going to be able to book more shows than you can on your own. You know, yeah. So I think you're doing the right thing. Everyone I talk to who knows stuff or pretends to know stuff just says, you got to make content, make as much good content as you can, crank it out. And I don't know, that seems to be maybe something we're going to try to do. I just hired a gal, Kylie, who's been really good helping us with, running the podcast Instagram. So she'll pull highlights from it. You have someone who does that too. And she helps with like some day-to-day management and is just really smart and savvy at tracking down certain contacts or, hashtagging things correctly and posting things on time. So that's been a huge help, and I'm excited about that. But yeah, I mean, dude, we have just piles of footage in the archives that no one's ever seen.
Yeah.
And I don't even know where to start on how to start tackling it. But
yeah,
once we do and we can like get it organized and put it into folders and start cutting it and chopping it up, we can start like rolling out stuff on the daily. And that's exciting.
Yep.
Although that doesn't mean like it'll catch on.
Right.
The internet's a giant slot machine.
Yeah, exactly.
You just keep putting in quarters and you're like, this is gonna hit. This is gonna hit. Oh, I thought that was good. I have no money left. I'm out of content. Fuck. So
at least it's free in some aspects, but it takes up a lot of time to
free. I mean, you got to pay in souls. How many souls do you get, you know?
Right. TikTok is good for just posting. I've been trying to post a day.
It seems like you can post trash on there and no one cares.
Yeah, you really can. And it's, They say I've heard every day on TikTok, every week on Instagram, every month on YouTube.
Okay.
But I follow that with what you will.
So Instagram, you kind of go for more quality. TikTok, you hit the quantity. And then what's your methodology? Do you have a strategy for this?
TikTok, I'm still trying to figure out. Like I'll just post like a quick video of being like, for instance, like a video of me being like, these are the bands I opened up for in the past and in like 2023, and I'll just go like this and I'll edit the names of the band, and I don't think I'd post that on Instagram because I don't know why. I think it's just mostly because I use Instagram more for like promoting shows and gaining a following that way. It's more aesthetic, whereas TikTok is kind of just shit posting and just kind of
it's the cringiest,
putting it out into the algorithm.
The stuff that I've seen that's actually seems to be working for people, and you know what I'm talking about, is like it'll be like a guy like holding his phone on like a stick or just holding his phone and just like mouthing his song into the phone. With the lyrics on it, and he's like, or whatever, you know. And you just want to end your own life watching it, but it's got like 4,000 clicks or something.
My buddy was telling me it's like, if you are too afraid to be kind of to make yourself look like an idiot on TikTok, you're missing out on a big opportunity.
He's right. He is right.
It sucks, but
maybe I'll just go full shithead mode next week and just start just bury myself.
just film years worth of content in a few days, and then that's it, and you can just recycle it.
I would have to be and just never speak of it again. Give it to somebody else to post.
Just
never
stay
look
off
at it.
Yeah.
Because it's like, do you put your own songs kind of in the TikTok reels?
Yeah, every time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're not necessarily speaking in them. You're just kind of. Are you talking over your song, or is it just your song playing and you're
it's kind of just my song.
Okay.
I haven't figured out on TikTok how to have it play, and like even if I wanted to lip sync over it, it's always like I'll have the video and then I'll plop the song on top. Just the editing, I don't really understand TikTok super deeply, but the only time I would be talking is I like the green screen effect on TikTok, so I can post like a show flyer, and then I'll have a green screen of me and be like, hey y'all, playing a show at this location on this date, like if you guys are in the area, definitely come through. And then put like hashtags of like that city in that. But
nice.
I don't know, but TikTok, or Instagram, I would say is a little bit more quality.
TikTok can suck my ass. I can't deal.
Yeah,
I'm going down.
I
have
TikTok
no future, people. It's over for me.
As an independent musician, it's crucial to have the TikTok following and the Instagram. Oh, maybe, I don't know, in your experience, like
I mean, I guess that's the number one place bands get discovered. I mean, that's to me like that's like the lottery slot machine of the internet. Is like it's like playing a nickel slot machine. You're putting in really cheap shit and then cranking the wheel to maybe hit critical mass and reach like a shitload of people overnight one night.
Yeah.
So if you have the bandwidth to do that, I think it's worth playing. If you have the amount of nickels.
Sure.
Sure.
It was funny. The one of my only TikToks that have gone viral is a video I took. My girlfriend got free tickets with her friend to see Bon Iver in Madison over the summer, so I just went and biked around because I've always wanted to bike around Madison.
Great bike town.
It was awesome. So biked around and then found my way outside of the concert towards the end because I was going to meet up with them, and then I could literally see the gates were open in the back. It was that outdoor venue, and I was just sitting on my bike, and he was playing Skinny Love.
Yeah.
And so I started filming, and there's like people walking out because they're like, it's the last song.
Yeah.
But it was it was awesome and breathtaking, and that song means a lot to me. But I posted a clip on TikTok and of the video of him playing Skinny Love, and it sounded great, and there's like people walking out, and I think it went viral because so many of the comments were like, wow, I cannot believe people are actually leaving during this song right now. Yeah, so the controversy kind of caught flame.
Yeah. So people were kind of pissed off and fighting in the comments a little bit?
Kind of just like laughing emoji, like what, like how could these people be it wasn't like super vicious,
right.
But
was it like, did you hashtag it, the whole thing, or?
I hashtagged Skinny Love and hashtag Bon Iver.
Okay.
And the caption on the video. I always try to have a caption on the video because I think that just pulls people's eyes faster. I guess I always try to think about the first 1 to 3 seconds as an attention getter for my videos. But that one was just like the caption was like stumbled upon Bon Iver's concert, whatever, and caught this song. And
interesting.
Yeah, so, it's one of my favorite songs.
Fascinating. Yeah, I wonder if like, can you just play like, because the lip syncing thing that's really hard. That's hard for me to stomach. What if you just like, what do you think about this for a strategy, Parker? You sit in your house, you hook up some really nice mics, you and a guitar, you run them through your Pro Tools so it sounds primo.
Yeah.
Nice reverb, sounds perfect, as good as it can, and then just play mini choruses of cover songs or your best choruses.
Yeah.
Just do that for like 3 hours straight.
Yeah.
Line up the audio and the video and then cut that into like 100 different clips.
Yeah.
And then put one of those out a day. Do you think that would work?
I think it would. I've heard a lot of music marketing gurus online talk about cover songs are like they say if you're a musician and you're not posting cover songs on your TikTok, like, what are you doing? Which I don't love doing cover songs online. Just I've always just been drawn to spending my time just messing around and noodling and songwriting. But they say like the formula of going viral is something that's familiar to people linked to something that's new. So cover songs are kind of cross that bridge.
Yeah. Well, if TikTok is kind of that weird no man's land of disposable internet trash, maybe that's where you throw the cover bits.
Yeah, no, I think that's a really good idea.
And you don't even have to learn the whole song anymore.
Yeah,
you just learn the chorus.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
People are only going to listen to that anyways if it's a 20-second,
the bridge
25.
sucks.
I think that's a great idea, especially for the sake of saving time, you know.
Yeah. Don't tell anyone about that strategy.
For real. But then your whole feed is gonna be you in the same T-shirt and the same.
You gotta
the same
switch
angle.
shirts. Yeah, you gotta have
switch shirts.
I mean, I have 7 shirts and 4 pairs of pants. I'll just rotate those.
Just go rotate through your merch line.
Yeah, that's not bad.
You're the guy wearing the new ski shirt, and then
do people care if it's the same backdrop every time?
I don't think so. Yeah, I feel like a lot of bedroom TikTok folk.
Yeah.
You know? I might not be the best to ask about TikTok because I have a rule for myself of not to swipe on the main page of TikTok.
Yes.
So I basically
swipe, just post.
I just post and ghost and get out of there. So
you're a smart man.
I just know the algorithm is gonna eat me up, eat me alive, and
sometimes I feel evil. You ever feel evil? You're like, I'm feeding more things to people who are depressed, thumb jobbing, doom scrolling through the TikTok, and then I'm leaving. It's almost like you're dumping Drano down your own drain, and then like, I'm moving out next week. Fuck the next tenants.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know.
Yeah, I think there's a line between being a content creator and a consumer, but I feel like I'm both sometimes. When I'd rather be a creator, though, I'd like to think. But often I think I find myself scrolling on Instagram for maybe
Do you
a
doom
little bit
scroll
too
like once a
long.
day, you think?
Probably, yeah.
How long are your doom scrolls?
Maybe like definitely longer when I was at my job before, like an office job.
They let you doom scroll on the job?
Oh yeah, if there's
Nice.
nothing to do, yeah, it's like I'd almost feel. I was telling my girlfriend this too. I was like, dang, I feel like if I brought in a book to work and started reading, I would look like I would be slacking off more than if I was on my
know what you
phone
mean.
and doom scroll. Because it's like it's so kind of culturally acceptable,
Right, totally.
But if I'm reading a book and
They're like, he might actually be looking at TPS reports on his phone. I don't know. We'll just assume he is.
exactly,
He's a good worker.
Yeah, but if he's reading a book, he's completely like
What
in
an asshole.
in your own world, you know.
There's something so double soul crushing and funny about doom scrolling while inside of a cubicle, you know. It's
kinda-
dark, heavy.
It's kind of
reality.
rebellious in a way, you know.
What was the job that you could goof off at?
I was a leasing consultant, so I
Okay.
was like the office guy of an apartment downtown.
Nice.
So it's pretty busy in the spring through late summer, and then fall through winter. Like no one's moving in and out, and no one's really touring, so it was just really dead,
Yeah.
which was nice. So I was at a computer too, so I was able to mock up some designs and do all the Instagram networking and
Knock out like
Booking
15 minutes of
shows.
real work.
yeah, no, seriously. So there'd be some days where it's like literally nothing to do.
Yeah.
So, it's just
I got fired from 2 jobs for booking my own shows on the
Really?
job. Yeah. One in college, I was like a graphic designer making $6 an hour for the university.
oh my God.
And I forget the other one I got canned from. Have you ever gotten fired from a job?
no.
Oh, you're a great man.
I mean, I think I was pretty sneaky with it at my last job too. I'd if I had my like editing stuff up and like Instagram or Facebook or whatever it was, I'd have it in another tab.
Yeah.
So if like my boss or manager was coming in, and they were pretty cool for the most part, but like I was always pretty good about clicking
Yeah.
like my work stuff up
Yep.
And really making. Sometimes I joke the hardest part about my job was making it look like I was doing my job.
It's most of the battle.
Yeah,
it's a classic move. The hidden windows and the placebo window that you click over your eBaum's World or YouTube like Fail Nation videos that you're watching.
Right.
No, I was looking at CNN. I was doing recon for The Office.
What was the second job you got?
Okay, so the second job I got canned from was I was an unpaid intern at the Majestic Theater in Madison, Wisconsin.
Oh, sure. Oh, my gosh.
And shout out Matt Gurning, still a good friend of mine. And I think he still runs it or sold it or is still involved or something. But yeah, I was like pretty useless at that job because I was like just doing my own band stuff.
Yeah.
And like I goofed up a few emails. Like I sent emails to the wrong promoter or something. And they canned me, locked me out of the house email account. And that was, even though it was an unpaid job that I didn't want to do, it was still soul crushing to be fired because it's like, hey man, this isn't working out. We got to let you go. And you just feel like such a failure, you know? But then after 2 days, I was like, oh, cool. I have like 18 more hours a week and more. I have more money now because I'm not spending, I'm not like burning money and time not getting paid. Anyway,
those unpaid internships are wild.
That's that's crazy. That's allowed.
Yeah.
You know.
Do you work with promoters a lot when you book your runs and your tours?
We try not to. No. Yeah. I mean, half the time they're like, you know, sometimes they'll be fans of the band who are just citizens who will throw a show at like a club and cover our guarantee and help promote it and get the word out around town. But yeah, I mean, half the shows we do are with, you know, legit promoters in town who run, you know, a couple hundred shows a year and do it for a job or a part-time job. So
do you think it's just kind of being in the kind of just in the realm of everything where you kind of know promoters in certain cities that you reach out to? Yeah,
well, I mean, you kind of want to work with the same people over and over again.
Yeah.
If they do a good job, you know, because like we want to do well for them. You know, we don't want to bomb a show and have them blacklist us from a club. So you know, I think even if you have a low ticket night, but the promoter still sees you're working your ass off and, you know, trying to make shit happen and get people out, like they'll give you another shot. You know, they want to work with people who are going to grow over time and who they can grow with over time. But you know, if you look at the conglomerates like Live Nation and AEG, I mean, those are massive corporations. Those are the big leagues, but it's like they're not going to care about your show. You know, so they'll put you on their website and their banner schedules around town, but it's like they're going to take 40% off the top or 50%. And that's a tough game, you know. But when you're selling like 1,000 or 2,000 tickets, then you can start to afford to work with those cats, you know.
Gotcha. So for like book or promoters in like the 100 to 200 cap realm, those exist, right? Like they're out there.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, you know, it's like a place like Cactus Club that would be an in-house promoter, or, you know, Kelsey would be the promoter or whoever's doing the marketing there.
Gotcha.
You know, and they've got their systems of, you know, they've got they're probably 2 or 3 people who hang flyers all over the city. They've got their relationships with media where they probably take out an ad in the Shep Express and show the schedule and, you know.
So when booking a show, do you think it's a good question then to ask, like, hey, do you guys work with the promoter, or should I find a promoter? Or how would that conversation
Well, if it's
look?
A small club, it's probably always going to be in-house, you know.
Do you think most venues always have a promoter, or there are a lot of venues that don't even have a promoter?
Well,
this is all new ground for me.
No, it's all good. Let's say there's a couple different scenarios. So let's say I have this buddy Calvin in Minneapolis. He's just a DIY guy, big fan of music in general, likes our band. He you know, he could go to First Ave and say, "Hey, my indie company, Big Balls Promotions, wants to rent out First Ave 7th Street entry for this night," and they'll give him the room, and he'll assume the role of promoter, and then he would, you know, get to take all the door, but he'd have to pay a hefty sum to rent the room out. Whereas First Ave, it's a small room, 250, 300 cap. They would have, they're like their own in-house promoter. So, but then they would take, 40% for expenses, and you'd run through their promotional machine, which would be their flyers, their advertising online and in papers and that kind of thing. So,
Gotcha.
If that makes sense. Generally, it's always in-house promoters. It's like someone in-house who would be called the promoter, unless you get to, more bigger situations. And Live Nation might do your tour, and they might be the promoter in Austin, Texas, if you're playing at 800 cap.
And do you think that it'd be a good question or it'd be good to connect with the promoter via email before playing a show at all, or do they kind of just run on their own?
I mean, most of them aren't going to have time to help you. Like, they'll put you on their website, they'll maybe run a few ads. But I think I've always tried to do that. Like, for sure, if you follow up, if you hit the promoter, or the promoter's usually going to be the talent buyer who booked your show at a smaller club.
Okay.
But if you hit them up a month, 3 weeks out, 2 weeks out, and be like, hey, pumping the show up, let me know if there's anything I can do, or send them a piece of content they can post. They love that because it shows that you're like hustling and trying to make stuff happen, and very few bands are doing that. So
gotcha.
They're gonna have more incentive to be like, oh, these guys are working hard, I'm gonna put in a little extra effort to talk about this show.
Now, do you think if I made like a cheesy engaging Instagram ad that promoted a show and I sent it to the venue, do you think it would just depend on the venue if they would repost like a reel, or is it usually like a flyer kind of thing?
No, venues love that. I mean, that's the catch though. Like, that takes a lot of time, and you don't know if they're actually going to post it.
Right. Well, I'd post it on my own.
Yeah. Well, you do a good job of that, and I'm sure like you can invite collaborators on Instagram. Yep. So ideally they click accept, and then that would share on the venue page and your page. Right. But you can only, I think, do 2 or 3 collaborators per post,
which is pretty good. I think before it was only 1, but now it's like 2 to 3.
So that's cool.
Yeah. And you can always like do it, and if they don't accept, they don't accept. That's a good point.
But no, in general, I think clubs love that. If you send them stuff to post, because they have so much shit to do. They're like, running a bar, and sometimes running food, running a kitchen. They got 6 shows a night. So anything you can give them that's no work for them, where they can just click, bloop.
Right.
But ultimately, the club itself is not probably going to help you pull too many extra heads, That's generally on the bands.
I guess the question that you asked me was like, how do I go about booking my shows? How do you go about booking your shows now?
Yeah, I mean, I just, like you, I have a giant spreadsheet.
Yeah.
10 different spreadsheets. Actually, maybe I can look at it right now. But yeah, I just, I bold and highlight the promoters that we're pals with that have worked out well, and save those and kind of rate them at the top. So when we do want to do a tour, we can pull up all like the best promoters who have done the best job for us.
Gotcha.
Who we're already friendly with. So you're not, ultimately you want to get to a point where you're not cold calling people.
Right.
Get
you
to
feel
a point,
like you've gotten to that point?
Yeah.
Playing out enough
on this side of the USA. But, I mean, we'd always love to open more doors and work with people we haven't worked with, especially in new cities where we haven't really established ourselves, for sure. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I got a ton of tabs here. I've got, good paying shows, summer, decent clubs, very good clubs, US, European clubs, German festivals, potential speaking gigs. I got a tab for like pub PR, so like media outlets that have covered us before. So
sure,
when we do another record, we can send stuff to people that already like us rather than send to a bunch of people that want me dead,
Yeah.
Oh no, my phone alarm went off. This is always bad. Damn, I hate when that happens.
Does it stop the video?
It stops the video. Because then it means more editing later.
Right.
Oh, I'm sorry, Kylie. That stinks. All right, I'm going to run the video again. But, yeah, man, you're doing the right thing. Say hi, zoom in on your face.
Hey, thanks for editing this, Kylie.
Nice. But yeah, I mean, dude, you're doing the same thing I am. So you just find your people over the years, you know, and then you try to keep track of them.
Right.
And if you're good at if you're a little bit organized as a musician, you're ahead of the game and you're doing all right.
You know? Yeah.
What are your goals for the year?
I think I would love to, I need to stop saying like I think and just and trying to delete those words. That's a goal of mine, you know. I would love to open up for a band who's headlining a tour and be the opening band on something like that for a run. But so kind of shooting around emails and trying to network online and all that. But
what about goals for life outside of music?
Goals for life.
Personal life.
Getting my dog nice and trained up. He's pretty good now, but that's been a big part of my life. A big switch up has been getting a dog. Doing that. Honestly, haven't thought about it too much. I feel sometimes I'm so swallowed up into social sig stuff. It's kind of hand in hand, but...
Well, that's okay. Less time to go into existential dread.
I'm day 5 of no nicotine.
All right.
So
how do you take your nicotine? Smoky?
It depends. I switch it up. Normally, it's like, do you know what Zins are?
No.
They're like little nicotine pouches, but it's basically the vape of dip. So those.
Oh, so you put it in your lip like a baseball player?
Yep. Put in your lip, but then after a while,
get you pretty buzzed up.
They get you buzzed, yeah, they do. But then I'll switch to maybe a vape or to maybe some a bag of tobacco. I'll roll the cigarettes and
that is fun.
But usually it's only like 1 or 2 a day, and depending on the time of the season too. But
is that your vice of choice? You don't strike me as a guy who drinks a ton.
Yeah, no, I'll have a beer every now and then.
Yeah.
And if I'm going out, I'll have a few.
Yeah.
But, and with weed, I guess I smoke like not as much as I used to. I actually really don't smoke that much weed anymore. But, yeah, just trying to be healthier, trying to go on more runs.
Yeah, man, you're going to do great. I believe in you.
Yeah, thank you. What about you? What do you got coming up for 2024?
Just working on setting up the year, man. Just working on starting to put the calendar together.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make it a little bit lighter than this year. And, but yeah, let's team up for a thing or two.
Yeah.
I think it's, let's throw a weird show at the Polish Falcon or something.
Dude,
Wouldn't that be sick?
Super down to do the Falcon Bowl.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Have you talked to those cats?
I have. I got an email from them. I don't know what their sound situation is like. I think they hire somebody out still, but
is there a stage in there?
There's a stage.
For those of you who don't know the Polish Falcon, it's like a legendary... It used to be a bowling alley or a polka hall.
It still is a bowling alley.
Okay, and it's just like a crusty River West establishment. Yeah, it's been there forever.
It got new owners, I think, 2 years ago, maybe, and they've been putting a lot of work and
cool. I love that bar.
A lot of renovations. It's now it used to be cash only, and now they take card as of the last few months.
It's just like stepping into 1951. Yeah. You know,
right. Yeah,
like
exciting.
Red leather seats and stuff. It's beautiful. But yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah, it is.
I'd be up for a crusty DIY River West show.
I would be down too.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Depends on the time of the year too, because this next year, trying to spread out Milwaukee gigs
for sure.
Much more.
What are you doing in April, May?
Doing a show, playing the Vivarium.
Oh yeah, okay.
End of April, and then don't have anything for May right now, so that could be an option. But
cool. I wonder if that would work in summer. If there's too much competing in the summer.
I know.
Maybe we do that in the fall. That could be big in the fall.
Yeah, I'd be down for fall.
Yeah.
Because fall
would be cool.
I've been trying to keep summer pretty open with maybe getting on Summerfest and.
Yeah, don't book any clubs in the summer. That's because stuff just comes.
Yeah,
with all the street festivals and all that sort of stuff.
I love to just enjoy the summer as well, and
yeah.
Also trying to get onto like Mile of Music would be really fun. I submitted for that and some other festivals. And then also, have you ever done South by Southwest before?
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's fun. It's a nightmare, but it's fun.
Yeah. I applied for that, so I haven't heard back, but also
go check it out.
Check it out. So yeah.
Well, nice, Parker. You're the man. We've been going a good hour, so let you get to dinner. Thanks for coming back, and
thanks for having me.
We'll
Brett.
see you soon in the world. You're doing great.
Definitely, likewise. You're a big inspiration, and it's good to see you still plugging along.
So. Oh, thanks, dude. I love you.